Since 2006, Ace the Himalaya has been proudly showcasing the scenic beauty of the glorious Himalayas to the world. Showcasing the Himalayas and making one's dream come true to be the part of Himalayas is what we specially prioritize on. Ace has wide varieties of trips. Everest Region Trek is one of its best-selling. Our standard Everest Base Camp Trek is a great introductory lodge trek that takes you to the most breathtaking mountain region, provides an up-close view of the world's highest Mount Everest, and allows to get acquainted with unique Himalayan cultures. Our licensed and professional guides will be with you from the moment you arrive at the airport to the moment you leave Nepal. In the mountains, they, along with our porters, are your caretakers and friends. In other words, they will be at your every step, cheering, encouraging, pushing you to safely reach the base camp and return to Kathmandu. Our airport representative will be waiting for you outside the airport terminal building, displaying an Ace the Himalaya signboard. You will be then transferred to the hotel in our private tourist vehicle. Either on day 1 or day 2, depending upon your arrival time, we will hold a pre-trek meeting where we will brief you about the trek and introduce you to your fellow trekkers. The city tour starts at 8:30 a.m. from the hotel. You will have an authorized city guide and a professional driver at your disposal. Visit 3 World Heritage Sites. First on the list is Bhaktapur Darbar Square. It is one of the 3 iconic palace squares of the valley. It is composed of medieval royal palaces, stunning temples, museums, and a pottery square where you can see the ethnic Newari people engaged in the art of pottery. Next, visit Bodhnath Stupa. It is one of the holiest Buddhist shrines in the world. Mix up with the crowd made up of locals, monks, Tibetans, and tourists and circle the stupa in a clockwise direction. Last but not the least is Pashupatinath Temple. It is a significant Hindu temple attracting Hindu devotees from all over the world. The temple is dedicated to one of the chief Hindu gods, Shiva, the destroyer. An early morning 35-minute flight takes you to the Tenzing Hillary Airport at Lukla, the gateway to Everest. Your porters will already be waiting for you there. After a brief stay, descend towards the Dudh Koshi River. The walking is easy. After 3 hours of average pace, you will reach Phakding, today's overnight village. Today's walk is quite a challenge. Continue along the banks of the Dudh Koshi River and cross several suspension bridges. After entering Sagarmatha National Park, the trails climb up steeply until you reach Namche Bazaar, the largest village in Everest region. Namche is home to quality restaurants, hotels, shops, bakeries and internet cafes. There are 2 banks and 1 ATM too. There are 2 acclimatization stops in this itinerary. This is the first one. Our guide will take you to Hotel Everest View, one of the highest placed hotels in the world, for a 4-hour hike. On the way, visit a Sherpa museum. The trail to the hotel offers stunning panoramic views. If the weather is clear, you will see Mount Everest too.
Tomorrow is our 4th day, 3,840 meters. And until Tengboche, smoothly we have to climb. We'll try to be there before 3 o'clock.
The trek continues along the rushing glacial waters of the Dudh Koshi, with magnificent views of the mountains. On reaching Tengboche, visit the local monastery. You will be taken to observe a prayer ceremony. The trail at first drops to the Imjakola and climbs up to Pangboche and then to Tengboche. Take in the exquisite views of Mount Lhotse, Island Peak and Mount Dablam. This is the second acclimatization stop in the itinerary. Our guide will take you on a 4-hour hike to Nangkat-sang Peak just above Tengboche. The peak at 4,900 meters is an excellent viewpoint. The trail continues along the lateral moraine of Khumbu Glacier and passes by stone memorials for the climbers who perished on the nearby summits, including Mount Everest. Continue walking and you will reach Lhotse village. This village is a cluster of several lodges at the foot of the giant Mount Lhotse. This is the most important and difficult day of the whole trip. Leaving Lhotse, you will reach Gorakshep. Rest here and rearrange your backpack, taking only what's necessary. Continue walking on the side of the Khumbu Glacier. It will take 3 to 3.5 hours to reach Everest Base Camp. We will only stay here for a brief period. Celebrate your accomplishment. Pose for a photo. If it is spring, you will see colorful tents all over the base camp, which houses climbers attempting Mount Everest and their support teams.
We made it up to Everest Base Camp. Here we are. So we couldn't have done it without the awesome Ace the Himalaya team. They guided us all the way over here, and we got here safely, and we're happy, we're healthy, and we can't wait to celebrate after going back down. Woohoo!
2 hours later, find yourself in the comfort of a lodge in Gorakshep. For those of you who want to go higher than the base camp altitude, there is an optional hike to Patthar. Wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning and with the support of a headlight or a torch, climb up to Patthar. The ascent is demanding, but the climber gets the most magnificent panorama and the most accessible view of Mount Everest.
Thanks to Ace the Himalaya for making this possible. It's been an awesome trip. Everything's been spot on.
After breakfast, descend to Lhotse for lunch. And finally to Feriche at the end of a wide Himalayan valley. From Feriche, which is actually on the other side of Tengboche, you will trek directly to Namche Bazaar. There is no stop at Tengboche like it was when coming up. Have lunch at Fungitanga. 2.5 hours later, you will be at Namche Bazaar. This is the last day of trekking, beginning with a descent and then an easy walk on the banks of Dudh Koshi River. The last part of the walk after Fakting is the ascent to Lukla, which can seem longer than it really is. At Lukla, it's been a custom that the trekkers collect money among themselves to buy food and drinks for the hard-working porters. Celebrate the final night in the mountains, drinking and dancing. If you are satisfied with your porter, we recommend you to tip him on this day. An early morning flight will take you back to Kathmandu. Enjoy the last glimpses of the Himalayan mountains. The rest of the day is for you to relax. It's also a spare day that is very useful in case flights get cancelled in Lukla due to bad weather. If you are interested to extend your trip, we have options for Chitwan Jungle Safari, whitewater rafting, volunteering trip, mountain biking, and so on. In the evening, we hold a farewell dinner for you in a traditional Nepali restaurant with cultural performances. The trip ends. Our airport representative will drop you to the Trivandrum International Airport for your flight departure from Nepal. The itinerary we presented you is of our standard 16-day Everest Base Camp Trek, and it is available for customization. As per your requirements, we can make it 13 to 25 days long. We can also add other trips of Everest region from Gokyo Valley, or adding a climbing adventure to Island Peak, or turn it into Everest high passes, which includes Renjola Pass, Chola Pass and Kongmala Pass that go to all 3 mountain passes of Everest region. Get in touch with us and tell us how you want to do this trek, and we will try our best to fulfill your requirements. Come and experience the journey to Everest with us, where your expectations and dream would turn into reality.